again, welcome back to episode number 51 of Travel Talk. Today's episode is going to be about Byron Bay and spending a day at the beach, basically. And Byron Bay is quite well known in Australia for having the best beaches, so I was quite looking forward to that. Not gonna lie, everyone loves a good beach, don't they? So all good. So yesterday's episode, obviously, I was at Nimbin, which is, if you missed the last video, the drug capital of Australia, basically. So I went there, spent the day there on the rickety rainbow coloured bus, which is all cool. But today was another day, so I got up about 8:30, grabbed some breakfast and headed out about 10 o'clock. Walked down to Byron Bay, like town centre sort of thing. Took about 15 minutes or so, and which isn't too bad, you know. It's quite a nice little walk, and kind of walked through the town. Wasn't really there to do any shopping or anything, you know. Just wanted to like wander through and get to the beach, which is about another 10 minutes, which again not too bad really. It's quite a nice little walk, and yeah, it's the beach is the beach at Byron Bay. There's kind of three main beaches. So there's the one you hit straight from the town centre, and there's one to the left and kind of one to the main right. So obviously there's lots to choose from. But yeah, the beach, you're kind of gazing onto this glorious golden beach, and it's got the crispest blue water, and the waves are crashing, and yeah, it's a superb sight. Like, after not seeing a beach for a few days, or yeah, it must have been a few days, you know, it hits you again, and you're like, wow, this is incredible. Didn't really do much at the beach, in all honesty. Just kind of laid there. Spent the majority of the day there, in all honesty. Headed back to the hostel about 3:30. Stopped off at the bank on the way. Needed to get some money out, and from the old Australian bank account, which wasn't doing too bad at the time. It had some cash in it from the old job in Sydney, so that was cool. So yeah, got some money out of there. Headed back to the hospital. Got there back about 4 o'clock. Did some laundry that night, which was always fun. Obviously, who doesn't enjoy doing laundry? Woo woo. Sarcasm. And yeah, I mean, laundry in hostels is weird because washing is fine. It's the drying part that takes a long time. It seems like you have to put your clothes in the dryer about 5 times. And this is every hostel I've been in. It's strange, but it's every hostel. It seems like you have to put your clothes in for about 5 times to really get them dry. If you don't do that, then it just isn't dry. So yeah, that's always fun. So it takes about like a couple of hours to do laundry. So you've always got to leave yourself plenty of time. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. So yeah, did that, and headed back to the dorm after that about 9 o'clock. See, I like hostel dorms on one hand. They're nice because you meet a lot of people and you've got a lot of people to talk to. But on the other hand, if you're someone that needs a lot of sleep, like in all honesty I am, it's not great because unfortunately you've got people coming in like different hours, and they come in and they're talking, and obviously a lot of hostels you get a lot of drunk people coming in, which I've explained in a couple of videos previous. So yeah, it's got pluses and minuses, but I didn't sleep overly well while I was in Byron the entire time because of the hostel. So yeah, these things happen, you know. That's the risk you take with a hostel, I suppose. So, but that night, ironically, I did have a good night's sleep and got up about 9 o'clock the next morning. Headed down to the communal seating area to charge my phone and my laptop. See, the rooms, there was 6 people in each room and there was only 2 plug points. So as you can imagine, they were always pretty full. But if you went down to the communal place, they had plugs by like every table, so it's a lot easier to do that. Headed down there, plugged everything in, started to look for jobs when I got to Brisbane. Just started to have like a kind of initial look, nothing major, but see what was on the market really. Sat there probably until about 12 looking at jobs, in all honesty, before heading back up to the room because I think it started to rain by then. So I chilled in the room for about an hour or so, but after an hour or so I was getting bored, so I kind of chucked on a waterproof jacket, headed out for a walk to stretch my legs and see some of the beautiful properties and like countryside that was surrounding the hostel. Because if you don't know, Byron Bay is basically, it's very hippie and very chilled and very relaxed, and there's a lot of like marijuana and all that sort of thing. So it's that sort of place. It's like kind of a hippie commune, but on a big scale. So there's a lot of people that are off the grid there. So they live off of like solar panels, water tanks, don't have electricity sort of thing, like from grids or anything. So there's a lot of people that live like that, and a lot of them by the hostel that we were staying in. There was kind of a lot. You went down kind of one road, and it was just one long road, and there were so many different houses and bungalows and apartments and such that were just living off of whatever they could get off of the land, basically, like the sun, the rain, etc. So it was really cool to see all that, in all honesty. It was all kind of, the houses are sunken back into kind of like quiet forest areas, and there's never really any traffic going up and down the roads. I think I was walking around for about an hour and a half, and I saw like 3 cars. So I don't think, again, obviously they're trying to live off the land, so they're not that bothered by having cars a lot of the time. So, which is, it's really, it's admirable to live like that, obviously, and you have to appreciate that that's the choice that they've made, and they're obviously doing well from it. So, fair play to them for that. But you see a lot of farm animals as well. Obviously, they're living off the land, so there's a lot of pigs, chickens, cows, etc. So they can, eat off of them and everything. So that was pretty good. Got to see some cows. Everyone loves cows. Woo woo. And but it was a pretty walk. It was quiet. It was peaceful. It was like tranquility away from hustle and bustle, I suppose. And it's like a simpler way of living, like kind of cleansing the palate as such, I guess. But it's really, really interesting to see how people lived, kind of not in the cities in Australia, but obviously in the more, what's the word? The smaller places, the places that don't get as much credit and attention, I suppose. But yeah, it was a really nice walk, and I really enjoyed it, and it felt like it had, made my day. By the time I'd actually gotten about halfway, the rain stopped and the sun had come out, so got some lovely photos on the way as well. And it really, this was, I think I had 2 days in Byron left after this, so this really made that day feel really special. I just chilled out, I relaxed, I saw like the simpler way of living, which is amazing, really. But yeah, I can truly appreciate why people live like that. It's a beautiful, self-sufficient way of living. And the walk down the road, like I said, took about an hour and a half back. And it was one of the best experiences I think I've had in Australia, in all honesty. I love like the kayaking, the surfing, the tubing, all that sort of stuff. But the peaceful atmosphere is just so relaxing, and all the VW camper vans that we saw while we were in Byron, we saw one drive past us while we were on that road. But it was really cool. But yeah, made it back to the hostel about 2 o'clock. I didn't go in. Instead, I went back into the city centre. Went and did some shopping. Went to Woolworths. Good old Australia, keeping Woolworths alive, because Britain's shortened they can't. So Woolworths in Australia is basically like a Morrison's in England. It's like a supermarket chain. So, but yeah, it's good. They sell a lot of fresh fruit in there, like really fresh fruit grown locally and everything. So that's really good. But got back to the room after that for about 4 and settled in for the night. The heavens then opened again, and it was just hammering it down for rain the entire night. It didn't actually stop until about 6 o'clock the next morning. So I didn't really want to do much. Just kind of sat in the room, watched some films on my laptop, and kind of headed to bed about 11, I think. Because the next day I planned to. They're basically what happens in Byron is the sun sets at 5 o'clock, and from what I've been told by people in the dorm, it's like a really beautiful sunset. It sets over mountains. So they said to me, if you go down to the beach at about kind of 4:30 and just sit there and wait for it, it's really definitely worth doing. So I was planning to do that. I was going to do some walking during the day. But yeah, I was definitely planning to watch the sunset the next day, which luckily I did, and I got a video of it. So that'll all be in the next video, but hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Not probably the most exciting video in the world, but it was an enjoyable couple of days in Byron. And like I said, I've got 2 days left in Byron after this, and it'll be Surfers Paradise and then Brisbane. But yeah, like I said, hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.